Sorry, Cheech. G'day, guys, and welcome back to another episode on the podcast with a long-awaited guest, Lachie Xerri, who's very keen.
Yes, I'm that keen.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've been trying to plan this because you've been away for basically 8 months or so.
Yes.
So do you want to give it a little insight on that?
Yes, so just wanted to get the hell out of Melbourne, really. So finished school, as most of us do.
Yeah.
And I got some family over in Perth, so went over to WA and just had a little bit of a gap year, deferred uni, and just set out.
Yeah. So as the main question, like the obvious question, why'd you move? You just wanted to get out of Melbourne. You were just sick of it.
Yeah, it was just it just felt like a bit full on after finishing school, where it's just like you have a lot of time on your like I wasn't working after exams and all that. So it's just like you have a lot of time like just to step back and like just got like this kind of this build up of like anxiety. And I don't usually do get that feeling, but it was just like, I just wanted to get out. And my brother had done a similar thing 2 years ago. He did the exact same thing. He had a gap year. So I was just like, stuff it, I'll do the same. So it was an absolute blast. It was kind of just 9 months straight of just self-development. And that's what I was after. And I've kind of titled 2025 as that year of self-development. And then it's just kind of crossed like just a whole range of things, from like my fitness, my dieting, and just maturity in general. Because not to sound like depressing, but I didn't really have many friends over there, obviously. It was cousins and stuff, and obviously I met people when I was working. But you don't have like your best mates there and like the people you've known like your whole life or whatever. So it was like really good. You just had like a lot of time to just work on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you reckon your anxiety built up from, like when we all finish school, it's a very obvious thing, just go straight into uni. And that's the same thing across basically the entire world with like, countries that have that kind of access. You go straight into university or straight into college and you just do a university degree, get a degree. Was it that kind of pressure and that like expectation for you to go that kind of built up that anxiety?
I wouldn't necessarily say, because like getting probably like throughout year 12, my mindset on uni was kind of like slowly backing away, and I was pretty keen to defer. I just didn't know what I wanted to do while I was going to defer. The mind of travel was always there. I think it was just kind of like how I mentioned before. It was just that anxiety came from like just like really just having like this opportunity to really open my eyes for the first time from a different view, and like not be related to school and go, okay. And I guess a lot of people would feel this. It's like the most common feeling after school is like, well, what the hell do I do now? It was that kind of feeling of anxiety, but I kind of enjoyed that feeling. It's like, it was this weird kind of realization. Yeah. Yeah. As it probably sounds. So it was a good feeling, but just a weird feeling at the same time. It was just a mix of emotions.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to commit. I've got this support with family over there, which I would not been able to do without them. There's absolutely no way. It just like everything fell into place when I was over there. And the family support was amazing. Couldn't recommend it enough. Wherever, like, if someone wanted to do the same thing, it's like awesome. Just go live with cousins. If you have that opportunity, if you have that connection like I did, it just makes life so much easier, to be honest.
What did you notice was the biggest difference between Perth and Melbourne? Even if it was like nightlife, like everyday things, like even little stuff like their lingo or the way they talk to you.
Yeah. There was a lot. There's actually a lot. And whenever people, I feel like the thing I got the most when like it was 2 weeks before I was leaving, and like people were like, why the hell are you moving to Perth? Because I feel like everybody in Melbourne is like
it's got this like idea. It's got that kind of perception of being like really boring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight up. Like, and I get it. But that's why I kind of like it. It's like a hidden gem.
Yeah.
It's like Bitcoin in 2008, in my opinion. Like, no one knows about like how good it actually is. But I'd say like whenever anybody asks me like what's the difference, it was like you mentioned before. It's just those small things like driving's huge, massive. People can't drive over there. They cannot drive over there. People get their license at 17. They've got their full license at 19. So I would have had my full license over there if I had a WA license because I went over when I was 19. So like you're driving with people that have full license at 19 that have done 50 hours instead of 120, and the pressure conditions, like obviously everybody knows Melbourne roads, and then you go over to Perth, there's like never traffic except for right after peak hour traffic for them. It's like 30 minutes on a freeway, and that's about it. And it's just like that correlates to the next thing that I would compare, where it's like how open Perth is compared to Melbourne. And it makes logical sense because the population's a third of Melbourne.
Yeah.
And it's also probably a third bigger than Victoria, like the whole of WA. Obviously, you've got a lot of dead, like just open...
Yeah, open land.
Open land. And then like you've obviously got Perth City. But that alone is really small. But it just, this sense of like... I don't know, especially when I first got there, it was like I just could like take this deep breath. Like nothing was like holding me back. And I always wanted to come back to Melbourne. It was like that. You know what? I'm just going to go with the flow. I'm not going to set a time on how long I want to be here. And when I'm ready to come back to Melbourne, I'll come back. So that was always the plan, because there are qualities from Perth that kind of lack from Melbourne. I mean, like you get a bit complicated infrastructure-wise, and I feel like Perth is like 5 years behind of what Melbourne is right now, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So like not until like 2030, for example, would Perth have caught up to what Melbourne is right now. So there's like stuff like that where it's like, damn, I'm like, in Melbourne we've already got this and you guys don't have this or something like that. The only good thing is they have this place called Spud Shed.
Spud Shed.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's 24/7, 7 days a week shopping. So I was working hospo. I'd finish at like 2 a.m. and I could go grab like a protein shake. That was awesome.
Is it just like is it retail, hospo, everything?
It's like retail. It's like a supermarket.
Oh, right.
Do we have that in Melbourne? And I'm just like absolutely dissociated with
like
the world.
The Woolies near me closes at like 11. That's the latest.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like 7-Eleven. That's the
I mean, unless you're working hospo until 2 a.m., which is probably very select people, it was very helpful. Because I could just like, if I was hungry and I didn't have food at home, I was like, oh, just do a little drive 5 minutes away. I mean, that was probably the only thing that I would say Perth was more advanced than Melbourne. But yeah, it was it was easily the best experience of my life so far, and would not regret it, and couldn't recommend it more to anybody if they're just kind of in this stance where they're just like, oh, I don't want to go to uni. I don't really like where I'm working right now, and I just want to try something new, and they don't want to travel internationally. Like it's like, it was very helpful staying in Australia, being far enough away from Melbourne, but then still being able to like, oh, if I want to fly home, I can just, it's a 4-hour flight and I'm home. Stay for 2 weeks, catch up with all your best mates and head back. So I did that, in August last year. Just came over 2 weeks, caught up with you, caught up with all the other lads, and it was like awesome. Yeah. It was just like that. I needed it just to like, because I was like, oh my God, like I haven't seen any of my mates. It was like killing me. And then I was like, flew over, and then saw yous, and then I was like ready to go back, and then resumed where I was at, and then I came back early December just because of how everything lined up. New job offering in Melbourne, and obviously BTV, that's a huge one. Yeah. So all that kind of just come in, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to head back on this day, and then went from there. Yeah. Yeah.
Like you said before, like that's my thing with a lot of people. They like complain about being like everyone complains about their course, but some people just they go really into it. They hate their course. They're like, oh, I don't want to do this. Like you said, they want to travel, but they don't want to travel internationally. Like, it just annoys me. A lot of people, they just keep finding problems about things without thinking of a solution.
Oh,
they just keep complaining.
Couldn't agree more.
And then they just don't have a broad, like, insight of to like what they want to do. Like, I hate my course, but I know at the end of it, I'll be able to get my PT cert.
Yeah.
And I'm going to extend it so I can do exchange. It's an excuse for me to get my PT cert without having to worry about upfront costs, which was like $7,000 when I applied for
mental.
one. And I
mental
was like,
for a 19, 20-year-old.
I was like, piss off. There's no way.
Yeah.
And it's a great excuse for me to travel. So I can travel for 3 months. First trimester 3 months, and then the trimester break another month. So I get to have 4 months of travel in Europe with the majority of my mates being there to either travel or do school. So the exact same thing.
It's a win-win.
Half the people just don't even try and find a solution for things, and it actually frustrates me when people just complain and never think of a solution.
Yeah, it literally like constantly complaining. And don't get me wrong, like everybody does to an extent. Like
I complain about shit all the time.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to be like acting all perfect and say I don't. But it's literally like the more you complain, you're just like you're just progressing nowhere. I don't even would argue you're going backwards. You're just not going forwards.
Yeah.
And it's like if you constantly are like making excuses, it's just like what's the point? And then going back to like your thing about uni and everything, like I fully back uni in the sense that like do what you could envision yourself wanting to do in like 5 years, and that could change, but I think that's always like that helps because like the pressure that some people may feel, whether it is a bit difficult if it's like from your parents or like other external factors, but I do feel like a lot of people, even just mates I talk to, they get into something that they're kind of just doing not for like a passion. It's more like, the money's good.
It seemed as the norm.
Yeah,
to go to uni.
Exactly. And they're just like, I got to get into it. But like, what I couldn't stress enough is like, I look at myself, not to brag about myself, but I've only just turned 20. I've already had 9 months of travel experience. I've now deferred again from uni because I've got this new job. I'm not neglecting uni at all because it's like, man, I'm only 20.
Yeah. You got a lot of time.
It's like, yeah, life's short. Couldn't agree more. Like, I can't believe it's already nearly February. That is absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, there's so much time.
Yeah.
There's so much time.
Like, that type of mindset you're talking about, I literally just saw a video the other day on it, and it's like living your life like a 10-inch ruler. And it's this guy holding up a ruler, and then he says, just for example, you're 20 years old, and it's like 1/3 of the ruler, and he says, this is how much you've lived. And the ruler's like fucking, I don't know, 10 inches. However big 10 inches is. It's pretty big, but like, say it's this high, and he goes, you've only lived this much of your life, and you're stressing about missing an assignment, being late to an event, and lying to someone. You have another fucking 60 years of your life to live through, and you're stressing about one little moment, and you're not looking at the long term. Yeah. Which I love that mindset.
Like, it's like, adding on to that, like, if you really just, once again, you just step back and you go, okay, this is just to make it easier, referring to an everyday 20-year-old. You go, even though I'm sure it has gone fast, you just go, you look back on how much you have lived in 20 years. Obviously, if you're lucky, you live until 80. You've lived a quarter of your life. Just think about how much you've experienced in just a quarter of your life. Like, it's mental. Yeah. Absolutely mental. And if you go down that typical route, it's only going to get more exciting, right? Like, whether you want to have a family, all that jazz, meeting new people, meeting like the partner of your life, whatever. Like, there's just so much more exciting things. And then even further down the line, like in that last quarter of your life, where potentially, if you're lucky, you become a grandparent, like all that stuff, that like excites me so much. I feel like even though I am only 20, it's like this weird feeling of it's like, man, I think it'd be cool to be 60.
Yeah.
Like my dad is nearly 60. He's just recently become a granddad, and it's like this, not this new sense of purpose, but it's like, it's just another thing for him to be excited about.
Yeah, yeah.
And it kind of just deters him from just like the typical business life that he's in. And it's just like, I don't think another thing to look forward to on a daily or weekly basis to go, oh, I get to check in with my granddaughter. I get to go see my granddaughter. And I think it's just one of many things that people can look forward to, or even just retirement in general.
Yeah.
You've worked your absolute arse off, and you just get to go, you know what, I'm just going to go travel for 3 months. Travel with my partner. If that's not the case, travel by yourself or your best mate and just live it up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, that alone, like, I think kind of taking that from Andrew Huberman, you know, he was talking about it, how he loves getting old. And I was like, fair enough. I was like that. And he was stating all these facts. And I was like, yeah, that makes so much sense. Why? Because he'd be like, I think he's in his 50s, maybe now. And he was saying it's awesome. He just says, like, you just keep these basic principles. Eat well, don't drink that much, but obviously enjoy yourself. And it's like, yeah.
Everything balances out.
Sounds like his life is ruling right now.
Yeah.
And like to live by that standard would be cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you were away, you did a lot of like fitness challenges as well whilst you were away for the majority of it. And you also, when you moved, conveniently, you had one of our mates, Grossi, down there playing AFL.
Yep.
And you moved with Tommy at the same time, but not together.
Yes, correct. So,
did you do any fitness challenges like whilst they were in Perth, and when they were away? Hopefully, I explained this pretty poorly, but like, you did fitness challenges whilst they were there and whilst they were away.
Yeah.
Did it make it easier or harder to do it?
I reckon they both have their pros and their cons. I feel like in terms of the certain challenges I did, for example, near the end there, and it crossed over. So I did it probably about 3/4 of it in Perth and the last quarter in Melbourne. 75 hard. I think something like that, way better to be by myself.
Yeah.
Like a lot of time by myself, should I say. Because it's one of those challenges where you got to be so disciplined. So disciplined. And like people can change the rules a little bit but I was like, I'm going to take this seriously and like make sure, like I listened to the guy that created the challenge, Andy Frizella, I'm pretty sure he is. I listened to his podcast breaking it down, like, and he was like, if you miss 1 milliliter,
mate,
he's full on. And I find him so hilarious. Like his podcast, well, that one in particular where he's explaining is so funny. But like that, for example, 100%. In terms of like just wanting to cut down and build muscle or whatever it was that I was doing at the time, I felt like wouldn't be affected too much. Although you just have so like many more temptations when you're around those people.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter who it is. It's another excuse to go out, go have a drink, go have that coffee and banana bread. And that's like if you're trying to cut, that's
400
like
calories.
Yeah, right there, bang. And it's like, it's obviously not their fault because you need to have a level of discipline, but it's just like, I know you mentioned it ages ago. I remember you telling me and it's stuck to me. It's a common quote, but it's like out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
Right. And it's so true. It's like, it's almost like, not that it was helpful that they weren't in that picture, but yeah, once again, it just has those pros and those cons. Because there were times where I was like, damn, I could really I just want to go see a friend. But then when I'm at the gym after a hard day of work, I'd be like, I probably would have not gone, and I would have rather caught up with a mate. Yeah. And then I would have not gone gym. Yeah. And it's like, oh, I got to do a run, gym, and I got work, and I want to catch up with a mate. No, that wouldn't work. Yeah. Like, it's just
way too much.
Yeah, there's too much. And I want to get 8 hours sleep. Like, nah.
Not going to happen.
Not going to happen. So, definitely for 75 hard in particular, it would be, I think there's never a better time when you feel like you're by yourself for a bit. Especially, man, I haven't had a girlfriend, but if you have a girlfriend, that would be like
That would
impossible.
Be tough.
That kudos to someone that had completed.
You would have to have a supportive girlfriend.
Yes, like heavy.
Yeah.
You'd have to have someone that like almost like motivated you to do it, and then was like respectful enough to go, you know what, like I'm just gonna these 75 days, just like I'm gonna let him do his thing.
Yeah,
like really focus.
Which is a lot.
It is
two and a half months.
Yeah, and I mean, it's always the case, and everybody, like I've talked to people that have done it. It's like once you get past about 10 days, it's just that process of keeping.
It's just habits.
Keeping habits.
It's
exactly right.
It literally is like how I see it. It's you're building a habit for the first week, and you just continue it.
Yeah, and it's like exactly what Andy Frisella said is the reason. Well, one of the reasons for 75 days is no one keeps a habit for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like you do it for 2 weeks and you're just like, okay, cool, I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like no one cares. And it's like, but after 75 days, like there's these habits in place now that, yeah, they're a bit minimal. Like they haven't stayed 100%, but they're like, they constantly live in my mind, just rent free. They're just like, oh, have you read today? Have you read your 10 pages? Like, it's still like I'm almost doing the challenge, but I don't have that pressure of going, oh, you have to complete it.
Yeah.
But it's like, man, you should get your 3.8 liters of water today. Have you been drinking enough water? Oh, you went gym, but maybe you should just get a walk in 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Obviously, it doesn't have to be a 45-minute walk, which I was doing a lot of the time if I wasn't wanting to run. But it's like, yeah, and it's like I'd say the only bad thing that I got from it was I overtrained, which is, I think,
obvious.
the most obvious thing that happens.
Yeah, it's very
and
obvious.
that's like the only thing that I noticed an issue that a lot of people ran in, like my brother occurred, or Will Carnell.
Yeah.
Not name drops, okay?
Yeah. I don't care. You're talking. I don't give a shit.
True. Yeah.
If Will Carnell has a problem, he can fucking say something.
So, like, both of them. So my brother, for example, he ran into like just like this thing where it's like you're overtraining, you're probably not getting enough sleep because you've got to fill in your day with so much, and it's like you don't want to sleep until you get all your stuff done. And then for him, it was like he just low immunity, probably from a lack of sleep. I don't know. It could be just out of luck.
A lot of weird biology. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you've got like Will, where it's like you do your knee, and you're just like, well, fuck. How you meant to do like,
anything?
Yeah, how are you meant to do anything?
Yeah.
So it just cooks like one of the main challenges, well, the whole physical aspect of it. But then touching on that again is like, I think the biggest misconception, once again, Andy Frisella like swears by this and probably yelled about it for about 20 minutes in his podcast, was it's a mental challenge. It's not a physical challenge. And until you actually go through it, at least I would say over half of it, it couldn't be any more but the truth. Like I didn't notice that much physical changes, but mentally, wow, like so different. My whole aspect of life changed. Heavy.
Yeah.
Because it's like I did a 90 day cut before that.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, I learned a lot, but that was where most of the physical changes happened, because that was just really strict diet. It was decent. It was a lot of gym. I wasn't working a lot during that period.
Yeah.
I did no alcohol in that period as well, so that obviously helps a lot.
Yeah.
And like I came out the end of that 90 days and I breezed through that, in my opinion. Like that felt like second nature to me. And the physical changes, I was so happy with myself. And then there was like this weird like 2-3 week period where I was like, just kicked the diet, didn't care, wanted to enjoy a little bit, drank, went out, like, and then after like 3 weeks, I was like, man, I kind of like the structure. And it was like, I really liked the structure actually. And I was like, I just needed to make an excuse to get back into something.
Yeah.
So then probably after that realization, literally a week later, I started 75 hard.
Yeah.
Because I just wanted, I was like, man, I'm hungry for another challenge. And I think that's probably the only bad thing is now I'm constantly hungry for a challenge. And it's almost like I do this weird thing where it's like the same thing happened after 75 hard. I kind of just kicked back over Christmas, New Year's. I drank, ate crap.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, damn, put on a bit of weight. I'm like, all right, cool. It's a great excuse to get back into it.
Yeah.
So then just before I started work, I was like, I'm going to get back into it. So right now it's just back to that structure. And it's not even being strict. It's just being on a basic diet.
Yeah.
Getting your gym in, making sure you get the walk in after food. Just the small things like that. It's just like...
Yeah, so with these challenges, obviously you did a 90-day cut, 75 hard, and then you come back to Melbourne, and then you do a marathon as well.
Yeah.
Were all these challenges just a way for you to do something to prove to yourself? To prove to yourself that you can do that thing, or you can get past that hump?
Definitely. I mean, and if you're pretty close to me, you will know I fucking love David Goggins.
Yeah.
I love him. I will never be anywhere near that motherfucker. He's insane. He's borderline insane. But just his mentality is awesome. I love it. Absolute psycho, like I said. But once again, going back to that, he just needs to constantly challenge himself. I was and he always talks about how far can you actually push your mental ability to the point where it's in what you did or what you thought you couldn't achieve, you achieve in 3 months. Just because you put your mind to it. Before the 90-day cut or during the first 2 weeks, I got back into running, and I've always gone in and out of running, I'll do it for 2 months or whatever and whatnot. And then it's inconsistent. So I did it, and I was just I got back into it, and I really enjoyed it. I was like, oh, okay, this is good. And that typically happens. But I was like, I'm really going to try to just keep it consistent. And then did after a month, and I was like, yeah, no, this is good. I've ran way further. I was probably just doing 5 8Ks or whatever, all that crap. And then I was like, oh, damn, I was going from a 550. That's how slow I was. Sorry.
Get the burps out, mate. It's fine.
I was running a 550, and I just saw this drastic improvement so quickly in the first month where it was oh, damn, I'm running a 515. That's huge. It's 35 whole seconds of running per K. I was like, damn, how far? Instantly at that point, I was like, how far could I go? So originally, I just had a half marathon set, and I was like, in 3 months, I don't know the exact amount of time, I want to do a half marathon. Then I set out this plan, and then I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to be running this every week, and it'll slowly increase, do this amount, whatever. And I was doing 3 times a week. And then by this date, I set a date, I think it was sometime in November, I want to do this half marathon. By myself, not sign up to a competition or anything, just do it by myself. Because that's where mentally it's the hardest as well. And then probably a week before that, so I stuck to it. No, maybe more than a week, maybe 3 weeks before that, I called you to check in with you. And you were like, oh, I was telling you that I was going to run a half marathon. And you're like, well, I'm actually wanting to run a full.
Yeah, one up you.
One up me. I was like, all right, buddy. And honestly, just to keep it so transparent in my thought process, I was like, well, fuck.
No, I have to do one.
I have to do one.
Yeah.
Because instantly, it's this friendly competitiveness where it's well, how far can I push it? So when you said you want to do it, I was instantly, oh, fuck it. I'll join you. I'll join you. Even though I hadn't ran a half marathon before that, and you said you wanted to try to do it in December, we almost set a rough date mid-December. And then I was like, all right, I'm just going to keep my schedule, do the half, see how I go with that. And then we'll go from there. Get to the half. Worst prep for a half the night before. Just ran into... I told you what happened.
Yeah.
It was just a just to sum it up, just like drank way too much water before bed because I was doing 75 hard while doing the half mara and full mara prep.
Yeah.
So absolutely crazy. Like I look back and go like, I don't even know how the fuck I did that.
Yeah,
Generally.
it was nuts.
Absolutely. It was stupid, but at the same time, it's that amazing feeling like, how the hell did I do it? But once again, it just goes back to like, you can push your mind so much further. It's like the only one that is stopping you is you, and it sounds kind of like typical, but it's just a fact.
It sounds like a cliche, but it's true.
Yeah. That's the way I was going for. It sounds cliche, but it is just a fact. No one else is stopping you but you. And it's that mentality of like, yeah, how much can I actually fit in? So yeah, obviously I'm prepping for this half mara the night before, and you've got to hit 3.8 liters of water, and I'm trying to make sure everything else is in check. I'm eating well and whatnot. And like, I drank way too much water before bed because I wasn't drinking water during the day for whatever reason. I just was out of it. So to make sure I hit my 3.8 liters, I drank like a ridiculous amount, and then I couldn't sleep. I felt like really dizzy, and I was like stressing that like I drank too much water and like I had water intoxication. Like literally, I was like, and then it was stress from there. I didn't actually. Yeah. I was nowhere near it, but it was just the stress of like, oh my God, like what the hell is happening? And I'm stressing because I'm like, okay, now I got to run tomorrow. And it was just, and I wanted to run early that morning, but because I went to bed late, by the time I felt better, I didn't wake up until like 10 that day when I wanted to get up at like 6.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, I have to run it. I have to, because otherwise I'm not going to do it. So for anyone that doesn't know, Perth is fucking hot.
Yeah.
And it gets hot early.
Yeah.
And it's not like 26, and even though the weather's been amazing in Melbourne right now, it's not like 26 in Melbourne. No, it gets like 32 plus every single day in summer. Like, it's ridiculous. So I go out 10 a.m. knowing it's going to be scorching hot. The most I've ever ran is 17, which is still good, but I'm like, bring like 500 mils of water, thinking that's going to be enough. No way.
Not even close.
Once again, like, so underprepared. Probably the only well-prepared thing in that run was that I had carb gels.
Yeah.
There's no way I would have been able to continue. Anyway, just cut to the chase. I'm at 16 Ks and I'm genuinely about to quit. Like, there was nothing that could have saved me. Go around this corner and I see 2 like construction workers. It was just like you could have not timed it better. And I just see them, they're dead ass carrying these 4 liter. Like, this sounds like I made it up. Like, I'm not even kidding. They're carrying like these 4 liter bottles
of water.
So I literally don't even like question. I just run over there and I'm like, I just explain to them, I'm like, hey, I'm running. I'm at 16 Ks. I'm trying to do 21. If I could just have a sip of water, that'd be amazing. Like, imagine you're working on construction. You're working in 36 degree heat. You're working with your homie. You're just walking out of sight. You probably just want to go grab some food. And some motherfucker runs up to you and goes, can I have some water? Because I'm running a half marathon and I'm terribly underprepared.
I would actually be like, no, fuck off.
Same. I'd be like...
You are so lucky that you met those guys.
So they pull out of the... I kid you not, they literally pull out of their ass a 1.5 litre bottle and they go, yeah, here you go, man. And they fill it up for me. It's like one of those, you press the button 4 litre thingies.
Yeah.
They'll just carry them around. It's like you can drink from the top, but you can also press from the bottom. And they just fill up this bottle and they go, take it. I'm like, that's not even what I was expecting. I could not believe it.
That's nuts.
I drank, it was 1.5 litres. So I had 500 mil for the first 16 Ks. And in the last 5 Ks, I drank 1.5 litres. That just goes into perspective how cooked I would have been.
I would have pissed myself.
But that's how much water I needed. And I didn't have electrolytes. Like, it was terribly planned. And another thing was, like, I went way too hard out. I was trying to get a sub 5. I was running like a 4:30 the first 16. Then like was borderline about to quit because I was just like gassed.
Yeah.
Just going way too fast. And then that last 5Ks, I think I was running like a 6:20. Like the slowest I've ever ran because my legs
were just
concrete.
Yeah.
Literally like concrete stumps. Like it was crazy. So I got a 5:07 or something like that, which like really annoyed me. I was like, fucking. Because what you put that's like over just like 2 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Over the whole run or something.
2 hours or something.
I think it was an hour 47, but I like wanted an hour 45. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
But it was like 2 minutes over, like what
you wanted.
What I wanted. I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I call you up. You give me the advice on how to recover, and then maybe like 2 weeks later, you give me the unfortunate news that
I was developing plantar fasciitis.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct. And I was just like, well, fuck.
Damn.
I was like, damn. Yeah.
I remember you told me, you were like, yeah, bro, just like rest up for 3 days. I'm sure it'll be fine. I was like,
yeah. And in my
it's not
mind,
fine.
one, I didn't know how bad this thing was. So that's
Yeah.
why it was like that. But at the same time, I was like, surely this cannot be happening.
Yeah.
This can't be happening.
I feel like such a shit bloke.
No. And then it once again goes back to that mentality. I was like, well, I can make the excuse that because you're not doing it, I don't have to do it.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people were saying, like my parents were like, don't do it. Just like do it next year. And I was like, yeah, I can. Like once again, there's no rush. But it's like, I don't want to make that excuse that just because you got injured and you couldn't run it, that I shouldn't. So then I was like, nah, fuck it. I'm gonna commit to it. And it was also like also to like provide an example to you that like we can like it can be done. It can be, or to anybody in general, that I went from running a 5:50 and once, not to toot my own horn, but I went from running a 5:50 and then in just over 3 months I ran a marathon.
Yeah.
Look, very underprepared.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Oh,
it wasn't a good run.
The organisation was one of the biggest head fucks I've ever experienced in my life.
Yeah.
Just to give an idea, we were in Albert Park and I thought we were running the run track in Albert Park. And then I get a text the night before. He's like, nah, we're just running on the roads. I'm like, okay, that's fine. And I'm getting the tram there, and I get there, and he told me to wait at this cafe and sent me a photo and everything. So I wait at the cafe, and I called him about 13 times. But because he had his phone in his fanny pack, he couldn't hear me or feel the vibration. And so I'm just waiting and waiting and waiting. And then my AirPods die, and I'm like, shit, okay. And then he eventually calls me back, and he's like, where are you? And I'm like, I'm at the cafe. He's like, oh shit, I'm like 5Ks away. Just face the sand, turn right, and walk straight. And I'm like, okay. I'll face the sand, turn right, and walk straight. And I'm walking, and I'm thinking, okay, if he's running at like 6-minute Ks, and I'm just like doing all this math, I'm like, okay, I really don't have to walk more than 20 minutes for me to see him. And so I'm walking to the right for about 20 minutes, and I'm like, where is this bloke? Like, he's either died or I've gone the wrong way. And he calls me and he says, mate, where are you? I'm like, I'm walking. And he just goes, I'm at the cafe. I'm like, what the fuck do you mean you're at the cafe? This bloke sends me in the wrong direction. And so then I had to walk an extra 2Ks back to get back to him. And then we start running, and then, even whilst you're running, like, I didn't realize how much it fucks with, like, how, like, the way that you think, because you're so tired and you're so, like, exhausted, your body's stuffed. He was just, like, running into me, like, saying, okay, turn right, and then he just runs left and hitting me.
Literally.
I'm like,
Literally.
I was getting so frustrated, but I realised I was like, okay, this bloke's in a complete state. I just can't say anything. I can't even do anything.
That experience as a whole, like from start to finish, was like crazy.
Yeah.
Like absolutely crazy. Because like obviously starting it off, it's like any run. You need to treat it. Well, you need to have the mentality, I can do this no matter what. Like there's not going to be a thing that stops me unless I literally, my legs are broken.
Yep.
And they can't move. Like, if I have to walk 30 fucking Ks, I'll do it.
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, I wanted to complete this. So, you've got, like, the first 10 Ks. You need to stop off the loo. Had to handle some business. And then, it was kind of like, the route itself was so unorganized.
Yeah.
Because I did this, like, the idea originally was, well, not originally, like a night before, was I'm going to do this 10.25k loop. I like literally went on Strava and drew it out, and it gave me 10.25k. And I drew it out. I was like, cool, I'm going to do that 4 times. I did it once, and I was like, so once I did it, I was like, that was shit. Like the first 10k. So I was like, I hated that. So then I was like, you know what? Like I said, that cafe spot, it was along like near St Kilda and like the pier and stuff. So I was like, I'm just going to run in one direction 5Ks, turn around, run back to 5Ks. And I kind of set like the cafe as like the set point. So I run in one direction, 5Ks, AirPods die.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm like, there is no way a human can be as unorganized as me. Like, generally at that point, I'm just like, okay, now we're really fighting it. And that was at 15 Ks. I was mentally, I was cooked. Like, I'm like, AirPods have died. I'm like, I know I wouldn't see you for another 15. And I was just like, well, just got to keep going. Got back, hit the halfway, just before the halfway, got a refuel, bit of energy. Once again, the carb gels were amazing. I had like 8 or something over that whole run, like something nuts like that.
That's disgusting.
But like, in terms of like pure muscle soreness, I didn't like. I could feel that those carb gels were really helping. It was just the tiredness of my muscles. And then once I'd done half, I actually felt really good because it's like, wow, okay, you're halfway through. It's only going to be less. Like, you've done half. So then I walked for a bit, and then I was like, well, I'm going to run in the other direction, do 5Ks, turn around, and then meet you at the cafe. That was the plan. Obviously, you explained that didn't quite work out. But so it was like, run in the other direction, 5Ks, turn around, and then I wanted to do that loop that I did the first time with you, finally. Mentally, the hardest was that third block, the 21 to 30 was the hardest, because it was this mixed emotion of me excited to run with you, because I knew you'd help me so much just having that support. It was that emotion, and it was like, I just want to get it done. Like, it was just a bunch of going on. And like you were saying, like it was just a complete mind fuck. Literally, like that 5Ks just felt like forever. Forever. Like, and
it flew by for me personally.
Yeah. See, that last 10Ks, I was fine.
Yeah.
It was just getting it done. Once again, like, I forgot to mention, I didn't give a fuck about the time.
Yeah.
I knew I was heavily underprepared. The most I'd ran was, I think,
21 Ks.
21 Ks. Yeah. Right. And I was like, I got nothing to do. I'm literally doing this purely to just mentally show myself that I can complete a marathon. I don't care if I walk a little bit. I don't care if I stop and then resume. I just want to get it done. I just want to say I've done the 42 Ks, be happy with it. And then in the future, do a properly prepared marathon. So, yeah, it was just that mindset of get it done, and just kind of ticking off in my head because you have no music. It's just your thoughts are just going like on a cogwheel, just bang, just constantly. So it's like every 5Ks, I'd like almost have like a checklist in my head. Tick that, 5Ks there, turn around, 5Ks, and then meet Charlie here, like. And it was just so much going on. And then it was this mixed emotion. Like when I joined you, it was like, oh my God, like I've done 3 quarters. And it's like that thing where it's like you've already won without actually finishing it. Like, it's like, okay, now that I'm actually easily over half, it's in anything. Whenever I'm like over that 3rd quarter, mentally I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. Like, another time I can refer to, like, I'm running for 45 minutes. I was doing like a really high intensity. It was like at 20 minutes, I was like, I got to stop.
Yeah.
35 minutes, I was like, oh, I've got this. Like, it's just, you just got to keep at it.
Little mental games.
Yeah, exactly. Bang on. Yeah. So, man, a lot happened in 3 months. And it's kind of like this weird, like going from all that to like Christmas, New Year's, obviously at BTV, and like just kick back. It's almost like, wow, like
so much has happened.
Yeah, so much has just happened, and I've kind of just used that time to just process it.
Yeah.
That all that's happened. And it's like, it was almost like living life on easy mode now. Like literally, but it was needed because like, I felt like, oh, good, I can finally catch up with people, spend time with family. Like, it was really nice. And that's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to think about dieting. And I couldn't stress that enough that if you want to diet, me personally, like, everybody has their own thoughts. But, like, man, if you're going to diet, like, it's like that 90%, like 90-10 rule.
80-20, yeah.
Or 80-20 or 70-30 even. Work hard 70% of the time and then just piss it up 30% of the time.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want. Like, life is not that serious. And I felt like that 3 months showed me like the extreme that I could go to if I wanted to. And that's, once again, not a bad thing. And you've got motherfuckers like David Goggins that are at that psychotic level, which for them is they want that. And it can change from person to person. But for me, as a person, I want to be looking at like that 80-20.
You prefer that 80-20?
Yeah, that 80-20 to me is perfect. And I think, like, obviously you just said it's like that's what I want to aim for in life. But like to some people, whatever that may be, like for me personally, it would be like lock in 80% of the year and then enjoy 20%, whereas some people could be like lock in for 5 days, enjoy the weekend, which is like, I think that's totally fine, but it's like, yeah, I like to be locked in for most of the year and then enjoy that like 3 weeks straight where I know like, okay, I'm just going to piss it up a wall and then lock back in. But there's that discipline where previously, like I've done so many times where it's like, cut, put on weight, or like drop weight, skinny fat, try to put muscle on, get too fat again. And now I finally hit this point where it's like I can diet, get down to a desired weight, look, whatever, and then go piss it up a wall, no more than 3 weeks, and then get back into it. Whereas previously, like perfect example, we finished schoolies. After schoolies, I was like, that was the happiest at the time I'd been with my body. I was like, oh my God, like I feel great in my body. And then that summer, I reckon it was probably about a 3-month span, pissed it out of the window.
Yeah.
Completely. Pissed it out of the window. Never drank that much in my life. Was eating whatever was in front of me. And I got fat, like really fat. And then it was when I got to Perth, that's kind of how this whole thing started. Where I was like, holy shit, I was 76 kilos. In 3 months, I think I put on like 14 kilos. So that's like nearly more than a kilo a week.
Yeah.
I got to 90. And I was like, holy fuck, that's just like, that disgusted me. And I was like, all right, I'm going to promise myself that if I ever do cut down, there's got to be a limit that I hit to go, okay, all right, like let's get back in the groove.
Yeah.
And that happened this year where I think I was similar weight. I was 76, and then just about a week and a half ago, I got to 80, and like I'd lost that kind of desired look, and I was like, cool, like I pissed up a wall, Macca's, drinking, whatever. I'm just going to lock back in. And it's like easy now because that discipline's there, that stuff that I learned from 75 Hard, the experience from, and it's like I've kind of cut drinking where it's like, oh yeah, if I want to drink, I can.
Yeah.
I could have 5 beers on the weekend if I want to. I just have 130 calories. If a beer's like 130 calories or whatever, just for 5 days, cut out 130 calories. So it's what I'm having like 2.2 thousand calories. Oh, just have 2,050.
Yeah. For
5 days, and then just go have a great weekend.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it's like, yeah, sometimes it's like, yep, lock in for the week, have a good weekend. Sometimes I go, oh, do I want to do a year? But as long as that whole 80-20 to me, which has only adapted to me recently, like I thought it was 100 or 0. Like there was no, but I think that 80-20 is amazing. Like what's your thoughts on that? Like that's different to what I've said.
You talk about like the lock in for 5 days a week, do whatever the fuck you want on the weekend. I'm more of that kind of ideal. Like but even then, like I will train the day after, despite how hungover I am. Yeah, I'll train or I'll work, and I'm like, of course, I work at Rebel, so I'm walking around a lot. I'll still get like 15k steps in a day. Yeah. And if you can just like constantly just eat well, because half of it about staying healthy and lean and whatever the fuck is about what you eat. Because you 100%. Can't out-train a bad diet. It's
100%. It's proven.
It's science. Like,
it is basic.
You just can't. And so I am much more accommodated to constantly eating well. And then on the weekend, just like have low carb. Like, mate, science and everything is good nowadays where you get low carb beers and Japan makes some really good high alcohol, low calorie drinks. I found this one at Dan's. 40 calories per can. No 1.3 standards. Oh. So it is literally like just vodka, but you can barely even taste it. It's the same
plug
concept.
Plug them in.
Yeah, same concept as a vodka lime soda, but it's passion fruit flavored. Oh. So it's like a no sugar thingo.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
Awesome.
Like I prefer having that lifestyle way more.
Yeah.
And I struggled with trying to balancing drinking and whatnot, especially during like year 11 and year 12, where I would just go through stints of same thing that you did with eating, where I would just binge drink 3 nights in a row and then be like, fuck, I got to lock in for 2 weeks, and then I'll just binge drink for the next weekend, and then just a constant cycle where now I just like, I think when you stop taking it so seriously, you start to see more progress. Like especially with
couldn't agree more.
With drinking, I took the seriousness out of it. Like my main rule is like special events, birthdays, vacations. Yeah. But even now, like I'll just go and catch up with my mates for the pub because socially, I think that drinking is the best thing for it.
100%. 100%. Like it's like when you just step back and just look at it logically.
So, I guess in the topic of dieting and everything, you've openly talked about how you've struggled with dieting, keeping the weight off, binge eating, all that stuff. And a lot of the time when you hear people online talk about this and have videos talking about it, they always have like one like kind of canon event or one event that just like where their brain clicks. But from when you're talking, you always have like little tiny moments where you get back into the groove of things. Yeah. Is that the case? Do you have
Yes,
smaller
100%.
moments, or do you have one? Did you have one big moment where it was like, fuck, I need to change
So
something?
I would definitely say I had one big moment, and I could kind of pinpoint it. But I've always been on the chubbier side. So it's like I would remember sometimes I'd just be like eating, and even like it got to the point where even my parents were like, oh, maybe like you should, like, they're just looking out for me. They're like, oh, you're eating like a lot. And at the time I was like, no, I'm fine. Like I'm like, this is when I'm like 11, 12.
Yeah.
Not a thought in mind. And I was like, oh, geez, they're being harsh. Couldn't thank them enough now. But then I guess the big moment for me, I think it was about 4 years ago. My mum just took a photo of me sleeping in the car. And we got home. I wake up, whatever. And I see the photo and I was like, holy shit, I'm fat. Like, wow. I was like, wow. I was like, man, couldn't believe it. Could not believe it. I was like actually stunned. I was like, that's what I look like. I was like, damn, I haven't seen it like I was mind blown.
That's the same thing whenever I see pictures of me when I was like year 4, year 5, year 6. I was like, fuck, I was a fatty.
Yeah.
I was a fatty.
Yeah. And like a lot of the time it's like it's I heavily believe in the baby fat thing. It's so true. Like I'm not even going to take, yes, it got to a point where there was discipline and dieting. But even just growing taller, you grow like
you grow into your body.
Like this is what I couldn't stress enough. Obviously they probably wouldn't be listening, but say there's like a 13-year-old listening right now, and I felt this a lot where it's like I'm playing basketball, I go to the park with my parents, like I'm walking my dog. Yeah, my diet's like just whatever my parents feed me and whatnot. Why am I still really chubby? It's that thing of like, if you keep that up,
it'll show.
You'll just naturally grow out of that baby fat. Like some people just are born with like
more muscle.
People
born taller.
More taller, more fat. Like in my case, it was the more fat. And I noticed just like even doing like this, like at the start when I noticed that, I was like, okay, like shit, I got to pick it up. It's not like I went like a really strict diet. I was like, okay, I'm just going to start monitoring what I'm eating. Maybe I was like 15. I'd probably been in the gym for like half a year. I started gym really early, which is kind of a regret of mine, but we'll get to that later. But it was like, yeah, I was like already monitoring. And then I just like, obviously I haven't grown much, but I was still growing at that time. And you just, if you're watching what you eat and then you're keeping up that exercise that you've been doing as a kid, you will naturally grow out. Like you see it all the time. There were people that are like 5'7", they're kind of chubby and stuff, and then they go to like 6'3", like they have a crazy growth spurt over like 5 years or something.
Yeah.
Just for example.
Like Harry Beecham.
Perfect example.
Yeah.
Like I've got a photo of him like 5 years ago, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then you look at him now, because he grew like probably that's probably a foot difference, for example.
Yeah, probably grew like a foot in a bit.
In like six years.
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, you're a fat bro.
Yeah.
Like, and I can say, I don't take that back. And then you look at him, he's in great shape. And it's like, it's because he's always been playing basketball. He's a great basketballer. That's his sport. He's just always been an active individual. And I know for a fact he's never been watching his food. He eats a crap ton. But it's just, you just grow out of it.
Yeah.
Like the baby fat goes away and you get into that build. It's when you kind of hit, like, I would say, let's say 18, just to make it easy, where it's like, that's when it's like, okay, the baby fat's most likely gone. That's when it's clear that it's like, okay, right. So if you're getting fat then, or overweight, then it is, okay, either your diet's out of whack or you're just not gymming and you're just like losing a lot of weight and a lot of muscle and you're not getting rid of the fat. it could be like a range of things, but I think that's where you actually get exposed for like your lifestyle.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Whilst you're away as well, you started social media, so you have YouTube, Instagram, and all that stuff.
I did.
And obviously, you haven't been posting.
No, I haven't.
You haven't posted for like the past 3 months, but
yes.
I guess starting social media, was it just like a time filler? Did you want to pursue it, or was it just something where you thought, "Fuck, I just got to try to do something"?
It was two of those things you just mentioned. It was a time filler at the time, and it was that thing. I was like, fuck, I just got to do something. And once again, not even to your own horn, you inspired me a lot, because I feel like we've got that similar mentality where it's like there's always just been this special connection to fitness. And I think as like a fellow person that we've both gone through, like being a bit on the overweight side, and then you get into shape and you're like, fuck, you're like really happy with yourself and how far you've come. And like, we're really into the diet. We love like weighing at least I love like weighing everything out to the T. Like that satisfies me in some weird way.
Yeah.
So it's like, I was like, yeah, I'm just going to give it a crack. But at the time, there was the weird amount of time, like nearly 6 weeks in Perth, where it was like, I didn't have a job. I was applying everywhere, couldn't get a job. It was a very stressful time. So I needed something to just take away my mind. Like, because I was just at home a lot of the time. So I was like, I'm gymming a lot because I had so much time. I was like, I'm exercising. Yeah, so I had just this immense amount of time. It was like 6 weeks of nothing. I was just able to gym a lot. And then obviously gym takes tops an hour and a half of your day. And then it's like, well, what am I meant to do for the rest of the day? And once again, I didn't want to just sit around. So I was like, I'm already going to the gym. Why not just film it? Just like, I was like watching, because I had so much time, I was watching all the like the day in the lives, whether it be like Togi, for example, like just absolute.
Yeah, degen.
Or like a proper like, I don't know, I couldn't even refer to someone else, but someone that's more tame, day in the life. And I was like, yeah, I just want to do my own kind of style. Like I love the Sam Sulek, and a lot of people said like when I started my stuff, it's that very like Sam Sulek-y kind of vibe. So then I tried to get away from that because I wanted to keep the originality. But yeah, it was just kind of like a filler at the time. And then I filmed just constantly, and I was filming during the 90-day cut, and I wanted to film every single day that I was cutting to show the progress. And the only problem I ran into was the editing.
Yeah.
Killed me.
Yeah, it's fucking tough.
Yeah, and it's the reason why I've stopped.
Yeah.
And once again, it's an excuse. Got to try find a solution. But like, it would take me 2 weeks to edit one video. And then it's just like, in my mind, I was like, oh, I want to upload every single day. And then when I edited one video and it took me 2 weeks, I was like, wow, I got to do this 89 more times. It's just, it's not sustainable.
No.
So I did it. I got up to day like, I think 16. I started editing more than one day in one video. So that first one, I just did day one. And then like my last videos, I think I did like day 14, 15, and 16. I think I'm like halfway through editing that or something.
Yeah.
And then I was like, nah, I can't do this. I was just like, the I can't even
tediousness.
Say it. Thank you. If that's a word. It was killing me. I was like, unfortunately, it got to a point where I was like, I'm not enjoying it. I loved the filming aspect. I loved just yapping. I love that. But it was the editing, I just hated it. I hated it. It kind of took the love away from it.
Yeah.
And I would love to get back into it. And I was hoping doing this with you would motivate me. And it definitely will. But if I am to get back into it, I'd have a completely different approach about it. Because obviously I want to be able to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Right. So filming, I know I enjoy. I know I love the film and the content side of it. So it's got to make a way where it's like, okay, if I want to do day in the life, don't talk for 2 hours worth of footage
Yeah.
that I have to cut down in a 10-minute video if I want to.
Yeah.
Just, I did this, 30 seconds. I did this, 30 seconds. And then make it more into short form.
Yeah.
You know, and that's so much easier to edit. And I feel like I'll enjoy it more. They're more snappy.
Yeah, because you obviously have to do the things that you enjoy. And like when you make content, I'm obviously not speaking to my own word and doing what I say, but I think you have to make content, if you're talking about short form stuff that you'd actually watch.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. Like there's some videos that I edited, I was like, no, I wouldn't even watch this.
Yeah.
And then there's some clips and I'm like, oh, I actually found that pretty funny.
Mm.
And it's myself.
Yeah.
And it's kind of weird, but that is so true. If you can look at it and go, would that person find it funny? Would that person find it interesting, sad, whatever your genre is in the content business? If you can look at it at an unbiased view or standpoint, I think, that's like a great way to evaluate and analyze your content that you are promoting.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that brings us to the end of the episode. This is probably the longest episode I've ever done.
Man, I can yap.
Been a long time waiting, mate. Glad to have you on.
Thank you so
Appreciate
much.
it
It is an honour. It is an absolute honour.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.